Hi, this is Sarah Lingra, and welcome to another I'm at the Piano What Now video. And this one is about understanding what a major scale is. So it's kind of like a definition thing. I'm not going to give you any exercises to work on at the end of this. This is more to understand what I'm talking about when we go on to playing the scales or playing things in different keys or understanding jazz chords or seventh chords or all of this stuff that's tied to Western music, whether it's classical or impressionistic or jazz. The major scale is like super foundational building block for all of this. And if you have a good understanding of this, then you're going to have a better understanding of everything else that comes afterwards. Make sure to have watched the video about naming pitch. I'm not going to go into the definitions of half steps and whole steps and sharps and flats in this particular video. We are not doing anything about notation either. This is all about pitch and how it sounds when it's put together in a major scale. The naming pitch PDF can be found at the Piano Key Finders blog. It's a free download. Same thing with the one that's attached to this one, which is the major scale, and it shows you here that a major scale is the white key pattern between C and C. So here on the piano, white key pattern between C and C. I'm ignoring the black keys. Now, when we go from a white key to the next white key, from C to D, we're skipping a key, so that's a whole step. So the pattern here is a whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And that pattern is having you play from low to high, a collection of 7 of the 12 keys that are on the piano, because when you go count the 7 white keys until you get to the C plus the 5 black keys, that's 12. So a major scale will tell you which of the 7 keys that you're going to be playing. And there's a whole bunch of harmonic stuff that we will get into later, but not on this video. All right, so to make this easier for all of my students, I created a scale card that shows you the keys of the major scale. So if I line this up here on C, there's your notes of the major scale. When we go from C to D, whole step, D to E, whole step, half, whole, whole, half. So if I take this card and I slide it, so I'm going to slide it so the first note of the scale that I'm about to play is an E flat key, then I'm going to play the E flat major scale. And you'll notice that it sounds similar to the first thing I played, but now the pitches have been raised. From C to E flat, they've been raised 1.5 tones. If I do this again, and just for the sake of playing it, I've moved the first note of the scale to a G. There are the keys of the G major scale. The numbers here are called scale degrees. So the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh note, and then the 8th note can be considered either a 1 or up here I've got it as an 8. It kind of synonymous. The 1 and the 8 are the same sort of thing. They are the same thing. The 8th note, the first note. When you hear the word octave, an octave actually refers to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the same pitch, but 8 keys higher, referring again back to the major scale. So 8 keys higher in this pattern, because if we did 8 keys higher and not in this pattern, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So same pitch. The major scale is a fundamental building block, and it's what we're going to be using when we look at notes in your music, when we look at 7th chords, triads, making something minor. So there's a bunch of different scales that we can play, but we start from this understanding of a major scale. For example, just to give you a little foreshadowing, if I'm going to play a C major 7, so I'm going to move this back down to C. Okay, a major 7 chord is a 1, 3, 5, 7. So there is a C major 7 chord. If I was going to be playing, again, a little foreshadowing here for one of the next videos, if I'm going to play a dominant 7th, it's a major 7 with a flat 7. So that would be 1, 3, 5, flat 7. And I can do that easily because I know that the B is a seventh note, and to flatten it means to move it one key down. Anyway, I hope this helps you get an initial understanding of what a major scale is and understand that this is a fundamental building block. You can download the PDFs that I showed you here at the pianokeyfinders.com, and I hope you come back and see what the next video. I'm going to be working on understanding seventh chords and minor sixth and major sixth and major scales and minor with their relation to the minors and the relatives and so on. So I hope this hasn't completely freaked you out. It shouldn't. But thank you for paying attention, and I will be back in the next video.